What's up, people? Um, Day or not, I don't know. I have some people who it's nighttime here. Ooh, but it's daytime wherever you're at. Like midnight here, lunchtime where you're at. I don't know. Anyway, I thought for a little breakup for a moment of um listening to the Nirvana chapters. We are going to finish it, but there's a lot more to go. To kind of break that up, I would come on here tonight and just chill because I'm trying to calm my ass down from having to get a hot water heater and going through the whole process and all of that, which did not happen today, is happening tomorrow. So trying to be calm about that. But I do understand shit happens, and I kind of am lucky to get squeezed in on the schedule with this dude anyway. So trying to think about it like that. Um, just can't wait today when it's back. We gonna be all lined up to get a hot shower. We've had cold ones, whoop, cold ones, but not hot ones. So anyway, also while he's here, he's agreed to look at the toilet thing that the other little young dude fixed, but messed up actually instead of fixing last week. And I paid him like just I already had the stuff here, the whole little kit that goes inside the toilet thing. And like I watched my mom do it growing up. I just know I can't do anything like that. I don't even want to try and mess it up worse. This little dude, oh, supposedly he's done it here, done it there. He knows how to do it, whatever. My friend's son's friend. And, little young guy wanted some extra work or whatever. I think she was having him bring something over here. I don't remember why he was coming anyway. But it's like he'll do it while he's here. Yeah, well, he left and the noise was gone. Amazing, right? But there's a leak now. So took away one problem, added another one. And I want to say the noise started back too. So it was worse. And that's what happens. I want everything fixed like now to now, and sometimes I make it worse. So anyway, hopefully it'll all be over tomorrow. If he looks at that, he'll fix whatever that little dude did. He can undo it because I kept all of the stuff. Um, it was interesting that he had parts left, but I kind of had a feeling like, I mean, that wasn't unusual. That sometimes happens. But anyway, yeah, that's my whole bunch of whatever that doesn't matter. But I'm trying to think about anything else to stay distracted. Saw an article today that made me think about a conversation I had with this lady that did a group on here. And wait, this says something. Click for more. Okay, I don't know what the hell that is, but I'm not going to be clicking it. Okay. Um, hopefully I'm on the right thing. I don't see any comments. Okay. So anyway, the article is about like muses, like the woman behind the man in like singing, like especially like 70s and stuff when it was mostly guys. Um I don't know. Just like even screw that, like not 70s, going on into 90s, even now. Like there's usually somebody that inspires like a love song or something like that. And I posted the one and it was like the same girl, Patty. Well, I may not have that name right. Whatever. Her name is on there. And it has that she was the inspiration for a George Harrison song. Woman, I think is what it's called. Yeah. And like supposedly one of the greatest love songs of all time that you could possibly sing. Um, Not a favorite of mine, but I get why they would say that because of the lyrics. The other one was Layla by Eric Clapton, supposedly about the same girl, but he just used a different name. But he played it for her, sang it for her, whatever. and she knew like it's about her, and he was looking for her reaction, and she had a panicked like reaction because I don't know, she was hanging out with all these people, but I don't think she ever expected to be like behind all of these songs that got all this attention, and then people actually found out, oh, that was about you. And so that's when the whole, not exactly right when, but that's another reason the whole groupie thing got brought up was, that not everyone who hung out with the band were necessarily like sleeping with the band. Like some people were, just hanging out having like conversations, whether they were, high while they were having them or not, like conversations that turned into like a deeper relationship, not just, sex on a tour bus, but like more than that. So these girls, like if you've ever watched that movie, we talked about it for a minute the other night, Almost Famous. Um, I'll have trouble thinking of the name of it now, of what they call themselves. I'll think of it. But I mean, Band-Aids. Instead of like backs, like instead of, I just said it earlier. I don't know, just instead of like what you think of like as people that go backstage and like the stereotype, like these girls followed this band from town to town, and they called themselves the Band-Aids because it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't all, sometimes it was just like having a companion or someone that liked stuff in common, seeing that they were willing to travel, for them, whatever. So they had relationships with them that were different from what everybody thought. So anyway, they became like the muse. Um, and I don't know. There's lots of different people and theories and songs you'll hear that people will say, this song is about so and so or was about them. But, we don't really, really truly know. Um, but anyway, I found that, started thinking about how we've been talking about Kurt and Courtney and how, was she the muse or the reason for any of his songs or lyrics? Um, was he for her? And has anybody like looked into that? Because she told people that he would lock himself in a closet and write, and that he wrote about her. And he did, from what we know, lock himself in a closet and write, like lots of people, lots of singers and people, they go off by themselves and write. They don't want, to be right in the buzz where everything's going on. They need that space to think. Like maybe, and even in that huge house, he couldn't get away to think. And so maybe why he went to the greenhouse a lot before this happened, and why he went and locked himself in closets. Like if they were having an argument, I guess the result of it could be a song that he wrote, but they weren't all about her. But it's kind of proof again of her making everything about her, you know. And he straight up showed that she was contradicting and that she was, manipulating, and that she was all this stuff, because they would interview him and say like, oh, well, this song is about Courtney, blah blah blah, and he would be like, no, that's not what the song is about. The song is about this. He had a lot of political things behind his song, but people assumed it was about her. So anyway, you can go back in time, back and forth, whatever, and hear rumors about this song was about this person, but for the most part, we don't know unless they come out and say yes. So anyway, check out that on my community page. It's just a little short thing, but it is about the song Woman by George Harrison and the song Layla by Eric Clapton. Um, and then it's got the picture and like little snippets of the song, whatever. Saw her today and thought, wow, she's beautiful. Wonder what this is about. And like I said, there was another lady that I was kind of doing a collaboration with, about the Doors, and I'm gonna talk about that later, way on down the road when we get through this other Nirvana stuff. But um, yeah, she also has done like little segments, and she hasn't done one in a while. I guess she does it as she comes upon it as well. But she actually got an interview with um, Demery, who was Lane Staley's girlfriend. She got an interview with her mom and got like a lot of pictures and information and stuff. And I've told y'all I would love, love, love to talk to Xana one day. And she has a page on here. She runs like her own multimedia type thing, and she's a model. And so I'll look at her page and make comments and whatever. But in a better time space, when I'm more confident or knew what the hell I was doing, I would love to just ask her a million questions. So many questions, but I don't know if she would want to answer all of the ones. They would probably be very emotional. But she did do a documentary, and she did, answer a lot of questions, and she did hold it together. She does have a family now and stuff, and I don't know. I don't know how it would go because she does have a public presence in a way, but I don't know how she would feel if someone only asked about that past relationship and didn't ask about her current stuff. So you'd have to work that in. And I'm not professional at all, clearly, or I wouldn't be on here at midnight just rambling. If I was, and I even told the lady Allie that does that, hey, I would love to read about that. If you decide to approach someone else, check her out. And someone else commented under me, and another and another. So it's 3 or 4 other people that also would love to hear from her. So I don't know, in a perfect universe, I would love to interview her. Who knows though what it would say. Anyway, on to the one fun, juicy topic or whatever, and then I'll get off here. I just wanted to get on here to not just, I don't know, I didn't want it to be 2 knots without me coming on here, even though I don't really have anything amazing, earth shattering, other than I've had a lot of shit happen in the last little while, but definitely last 48 hours or so. Some like waiting to get this whole situation done, and shock at how much things cost, because I luckily had a big family and stuff when I was little, and I didn't have to get involved in shit. And so I feel bad that my kids do have to know how much things cost and like see my reaction and hear my reaction. And just like I said, I've told somebody, I'm sure y'all heard me on here say, I'm trying to stay calm, but I'm not doing the best job at it. So, yay, y'all get to be here with me trying to, I don't know, go back in time, relive, whatever. But this thought made me think today. Okay, I've never been a muse per se, but I've always thought that would be a really cool thing, because you hear these songs and you're like, damn, I wish I was the girl, that he was writing about or whatever. And clearly, read the article I'm talking about, you'll see like that does happen. So for me, this dude is not what I'm fixing to read to you. Not a, he could play the guitar, yes. He claimed that he wrote me a song that later I found out he did not, but sweet try anyway. He wasn't in a band. He just kind of played on his own, like, I don't know. Like we would go out to the dam, like water dam, and there were rocks and stuff, and we would go out there at night, and he would take his guitar up there. We would hang out there. Sometimes like a couple other friends would go with us, but sometimes it was just us. And at one point in time, like I really liked him, but I was just getting friend zone vibes from him and moved on, just moved on. And so way later, we stay friends or whatever, and truly friends, like no, nothing more. Go to his house or go to a friend's house that he's at with my friend. Forgot I'm gonna have to turn my lights up so that I can read this because I have my red lights on. Anyway, we go to his house or go to whoever's house, hang out. He's there and he's like, hey, will you meet me back here for a minute? And I was like, okay, we're not even at a house I'm familiar with, and you want me to meet you back here in the bedroom. Things are not happening like that, dude, but whatever. So I try to like take my time. Then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to act like I'm going to the bathroom. Maybe he'll forget about whatever this is, because I didn't want to face it. So anyway, I get I go in there. I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, I have something for you. And he hands me a CD. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay. I like one of the songs on there. And I don't remember telling him that, but I mean, it was popular during that time. But it was Victoria Williams. And the song that was popular she did was called Crazy Mary. So it has nothing to do with the poem at all. Don't know if it was just he wanted something to put it in because it don't look new. But anyway, and I've never played it. Oh, wait. Oh, cool. I just now noticed. For promotional use only. Sale or other transfer is prohibited. Must be returned on demand of recording company. Well, isn't that fucking awesome? He didn't even pay for this. This is a promotional item that he apparently. What the? Okay, see, this is how I learned stuff. Literally just saw this after 20 something years. I just realized because it's in gold. Like if you look at it, you can't see because I'm looking at it under like a red light. It sure as fuck does say that. So I don't know where he got it, but anyway, on to the good stuff. Even though no one is watching, eyeball with a 0. That's fine. Maybe that's good. I don't know. I don't think he titled it. No, he didn't. Okay, hold on. We'll try pink. Okay. Let me turn this music off too. Okay. Okay, again, no title. And I'm gonna have to tell you a different name at the bottom, even though his name is really unique. It's almost too unique. Like you could maybe find this person, even though I had him on Facebook and then apparently, I don't know, taken a break from social media, disappear from social media. Story of my life when I'm looking up from people in the past. Like when I used to hang out with a bunch of people before I started just like keeping to myself. So I'm about to give up looking for people from back in the day because I'm not having that much luck. But I remembered this poem. I remember thinking, damn, this is so awesome that somebody wrote this about me, that I, made somebody inspired enough to write. But it was too late. Like I didn't like him like that anymore. I wasn't even that close with him anymore. Like we just moved in separate directions. I don't even know why we had went to that house that day. I have an idea of why, but it was nothing really for me. Anyway, there's a poem in one of the missing books about that day, I remember. But anyway, that's a poem I wrote that when I just wrote all the time, like every day about whatever, wanting to record, moments. And I'm so determined to find those other 2 journals so that it makes sense. But okay, I'll stop on. This is short, but he wrote me this poem, put it in the CD, said, can you step back here? Handed it to me, but said, don't read it in front of me. But when you get done reading it, like kind of, I want to see what you say. So I'm going to leave the room and you can read it, but I'm going to come back because I want to see your reaction, which that's not awkward at all. Okay. This is it. Folded up on notebook paper, like torn out of a notebook with the little raggedy edges and all. I think of you late nights on weekends when the bars are banging guitars and mandolins. I'm in my bed and thinking. I fade to sleep and I'm dreaming of you. Of course, of you. Sometimes sitting on the floor, I look out the front door and imagine you're walking up. I wake and take a walk and I'm dreaming on the trees, seeing in the streams, wishing for you in a well so deep, my wishes just sink and my heart's going down to make sure they keep me thinking of you. And then adds his name. And I wish I could tell you because it has it's a unique name, but it's so unique. Like I said, I can't, but I can just say initials MCL. And I had a lot of people with this first name. Not a lot. I had several people I knew with the first name. And so I can just say it's Matt. There you go. Y'all can play fill in the blank with the rest of it. You'll never guess. Never. Like I was like, "Is this your real name, or are you trying to be cool?" But he showed me like on his license, it's legit. Anyway, that's a 20-year-old poem that I was the muse for a moment. And he did play the guitar. He did have like, those goals and aspirations. It just that not what happened. Last I heard or saw rather on Facebook, he was teaching English at I want to say University of Kentucky or something like that. So the fact that like his social media and everything disappeared is kind of weird, but I don't know. He could have been taking like I said a social media break, but he is last I heard, like I said, he got married, had two little boys, I think. So I don't know. His life got back on track apparently, which is great. And he probably has no memory of writing this, but I have it here with his little signature at the bottom and all that. And I don't know. Every time I read it, I just think, damn, like, I don't know. That's kind of cool that someone, I don't know, maybe other people haven't. I don't know it. I laughed and told my kiddo when she was setting this up, I was like, I don't have to be on StreamYard because no one will probably be coming up and I could just not have to use my StreamYard time. But I did it in case I have some late nighters who wanted to come up and say anything. But um, y'all should know by now, like, this is my waking time. I'll actually have to be up and about and doing whatever tomorrow to make sure things go down like they're supposed to and repairs and all are finished so I don't have to think about it because the rest of it is enough. Um, so who knows? In the middle of that shit, I may go live during the day to see if there's that much of a difference. Like, I don't know. I had several more people on here that morning that we sort of spilled over from the night. But I don't know if that was just kind of because of who's on or not on or what day it was or whatever the hell. But anyway, I know this is weird for just a random ass Tuesday night. I think it's Tuesday. I don't even know anymore. Think so. Which no, technically it's Wednesday for people who are technical, but for me, if it's dark, yeah, it's 12:30 here, which means let me say 3. Dave in your area, it's barely even cookies and milk bedtime. It's like 9:30. Anyway, what is y'all? What I need to know? I need some feedback from y'all in the comments on what do you think about this poem. Um, like I'm not gonna lie. Afterward, I just was honest and was like, listen, I have sort of like moved on and have feelings for someone else now, but I hope we can still hang out, be friends, whatever, because we're gonna be around each other in this little circle. And it was very awkward, just kind of like, yeah, sure. And he looked like he wanted to cry, and I got the fuck out of there. Me and my friend, I kept trying to hint for her, like, let's go, let's go. And I don't know. I think I had to cross paths with him a few times after that. Like, not even cross paths, but one of them, like, cross paths and hang out in a room. But I tried to just, like, be far away from him. It just was awkward after that. He was a super nice guy. It just, I don't know. Like I said, he appeared to have turned out with a successful life and he loved writing and poetry and all that. So if he became an English professor and had two little boys and a wife and a happy life, then I'm very happy for him. And he probably did make a good decision at some point that led him to all that. So wherever he is, hope, hope things are great for him. Um, makes you wonder, if you made a different choice, what would happen. But also looking back, I would have never made, I don't know, like once I met my now ex-husband, like I didn't like anybody else. And it's sad because I met some really nice people, but I shut everybody out because it was just all him. And you see where that's got me, kind of just trying to start all over um, with friends, with everything in life, actually. So here's my baby step is being on YouTube. Um, I don't know. I kind of want to read it one more time for someone who like might have listened to the very beginning, because I see people kind of popping in and out who are like, is this worth it? And so if you want to zip to the very end and be like, what the hell was she talking about? I'm just talking about muses, like usually in general, can be a guy now, Taylor Swift, all of hers, she's, letting it all out. But people who are the inspiration or the muse, if it's like a sweet love song or something, like who inspired that person, like, or what, we think about what place, where were they in, who were they around, like what made them write something that would just grab you like that and just get you in the heart. And I'm not comparing this to some masterpieces that George Harrison and Eric Clapton wrote. I'm just saying, for a minute, I was a muse. And I don't know if what sucks and is stupid of me now looking back is I should have said, is there like, are these truly like lyrics? Like, did you really write a song to go with them? Or is it just a poem? Because the fucking, what was I going to say earlier? The song that he supposedly said he wrote for me that was just like instrumental, just like him strumming on his guitar, was so like freaking just beautiful. Like it made me want to learn how to play guitar. He could play the hell out of a guitar. And I kept thinking, this sounds familiar. This sounds so familiar. And it's just too good. It's too good for him to have written. I know that sounds awful, but anyway, later I find out that it is basically some of the opening. I don't know if he combined it or if I just have to listen to it again. As many times as I've listened to it on a daily basis, I can't tell you right now which song or a combination of two, but it's on the same album. It's Alice in Chains, Nutshell, which is a favorite of mine. I sang it on here, and then Rotten Apple. And so there are like some really pretty instrumental, like acoustic guitar stuff in that. And a combination of that is exactly what he played and was like, I wrote this for you. Okay. Like I said at the time, I was like, oh. So he never knew that I figured it out way later. And there's a whole messed up story. Well, it's for another time because it definitely has nothing to do with being a muse. But it does have to do with a night that we went out there to the dam, and one of my friends went with one of his friends, like double date, I guess, situation, but I don't know. We were all just friends. I don't know what the fuck. I left her and him in the car. We went down to the water. Like that's what we were going to do regardless. I don't know why they stayed in the car, but it didn't end up good. None of it. None of that ended up good. So anyway, I'm for real going to just not waste StreamYard time in case I want to use it tomorrow or who knows when. Stay on here 8 hours tomorrow or 8 days from now. Who the hell knows with my schedule? Just keep checking back. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, all the stuff people say. Share this channel with other people and say, listen, she talks about all kinds of weird shit and lots of shit that has to do with music. And if you go back and look, I tried to label it correctly so you could catch up if you want to go through the Nirvana chapters with us. We are going to do some more of those in the future soon and get through that series. And then y'all can check out that guy's channel, which is full of stuff if y'all love Nirvana. I don't know. I have some things in my brain for future, but in between, I think I'm going to have to do stuff like this to keep sanity. But I'm going to read this poem one more time. For those who didn't want to listen to the middle part, I'm not upset. Do you. But anyway, okay, this is the poem that I found in the CD that Matt MCL wrote for me back in the day. So I was a muse for one moment. Okay. I think of you late nights on weekends when the bars are banging guitars and mandolins. I'm in my bed and thinking. I fade to sleep and I'm dreaming of you, of course of you. Sometimes sitting in the floor, I look out the front door and I imagine you're walking up. I wake and then take a walk, and I'm dreaming on the trees, seeing in the streams, wishing for you in a well so deep that my wishes just sink, and my heart's going down to make sure they keep me thinking of you. MCL. Like I said, I would tell you the C part of his name, but it's too unique. I thought it was a lie. I was like, I need to see your license, and it's real. But we'll just stick with Matt, first name. But yeah, super talented guy. This is a sweet poem. I'll always remember it because, like I said, this was my moment that I was an actual muse. And I had a song supposedly written for me, and these are some lyrics or a poem written for me. And I think the rest of my life, probably I was the person writing about someone else. They were my muse. But this is the one different time. And I just realized, live reaction, y'all didn't get to see my face, but that this whole ass CD, all these years that I've had, kept away, I just noticed it says on the front, for promotional use only. Sale or other transfer is prohibited, must be returned on demand of recording company. So I don't know how the hell the dude got this, but I don't know if he got it from a radio station, from the actual artist theirself. That's pretty fucking cool. And I just saw it. But it's Victoria Williams. She was only popular for a minute, like in the 90s, with that song Crazy Mary. She has a very like unique, like scratchy kind of hoarse voice, kind of like mine, but not. Hers is higher, like higher pitched. There's no reason, like this CD, this song had no connection really to us, other than like it was one of many that we were listening to during the time. But again, I think the dude just wanted something to hand it to me in instead of handing me a piece of paper. So he's like, here, and inside there's something for you. Just I don't want to be in here when you read it, but I'm going to come back and get your reaction. Great. So anyway, it's sweet. I don't know how I could have reacted better in the situation I was in, but now looking back, I'm glad I kept it. It's all heartwarming and stuff. But the promotional use or whatever of the recording company, wow. Like I said, I learn new things every day when I come on here. And I turned on my red or pink or whatever light, and I'm like bent over reading this shit because when I lay back and chill, I'm not going to be wanting to open up CDs and read them or whatever. But yep, I was a muse. I was a muse. Not amused, but a musa. Is anybody else got anything interesting going on? 4 people are watching. Do y'all want me to just keep talking about being a muse? No, but if you for real, like I said, go back, check out my community post, and you'll see why I even started thinking about this. And I've been thinking this whole time about the whole Kurt and Courtney. And she really wanted everyone to believe she was the muse of not just Kurt's songs, but Billy Corgan songs, fucking anybody's songs, anybody's. That she, it's all about her. She's Miss World for real. I mean, I think she probably still thinks she is wherever the hell she's at. I really don't know where she's at. Do y'all know? Because that's something I do need to find out at the end of all this, is to be like, where is she now situation. We know kind of where the daughter is at, because there's a bunch of stuff on that page, that American Spy Fox guy, the one that we're listening to the chapters about. His page has a whole perspective from the daughter, and I'm guessing info and kind of like where she is in her life now. I'm guessing there's one there on Courtney. I just haven't uncovered it yet, or it's going to be at the end of one of these chapters. But I don't know. Like I said, we'll get back to that tonight. I just wanted to talk about being a muse and people who in history have gone down as like the muses behind the music. Also, I used to have a book that was so awesome, and I don't know what happened to a lot of my books during moves here and there, but it was called I'm with the band or with the band, and it was a paperback copy, and I had read that book so many times, and it was just like tore up, but I was still carrying it wherever I went. But Pamela Desbar, I think is the way you say her name, DES or DeBars, something like that, DEBARS. And she's like a famous groupie or whatever you want to call them, Band Aid. She was like somebody that claims to have been with like many bands, Aerosmith, Kiss, and she like followed them, traveled with them, like whatever. So, and there was like a group. She said they all became friends, even though in a way they were competitors for the guy's attention. They kind of they were, like I said, if you watch the movie Almost Famous, they were the Band-Aids. Um, and so back then it was kind of, sex, drugs, rock and roll. And, on a different level than the whole Kurt and Courtney backstage, I'm sure when you think about, everybody just fucking laid out backstage after what they done versus, some weed and whiskey from, 70s. Well, they had their own poison, never mind. Forgot about that little kick. But yeah, I'm guessing that a lot of muses, a lot of it had some drugs and alcohol and other things mixed in with it. But I mean, I think definitely the women hanging around is common theme with guys, guitars, bands, whatever. Um, and like I said, now we're seeing that with more women, and their muses are usually their breakup songs, their fu songs. Here I am, I'm censoring myself, and I just said the word like 80 times. Um, anyway, if you listen to Taylor Swift, like I said, famous for muses, if you want to say that after the fact. Um, but yeah, y'all tell me what you think about the poem. I think it is sweet. I really do. And like I said, I always remember it. I remembered exactly where I've kept it all this time. Um, and I don't know. I read it to my daughters, and they weren't that shocked or impressed or anything by it. They didn't even go, "Oh," they were just kind of like, "Okay." But I think it's sweet. And wait, there was someone else that I saw today, or another. Oh, like if you watched any of the movie The Doors, or you've studied anything about them, Jim always had a shit ton of women around him, and he had, two Patricias, like the love of his life, and then he had Patricia, hell, what's her name? Keneally. And she, did a lot of kind of darkness and evil, black magic type stuff with him, which he was interested in, open minded about, like spiritual, whatever. And she was very convincing. She was a photographer. She was a journalist. Like, he was very intrigued by her and her intelligence and, her dark, like, witchiness or whatever. So she was kind of with the band, but in a more serious way. Like, she was coming in as, this is my career in journalism, but while I'm here, let's take some pictures. Let's see you looking like this, like that, whatever. And his photo shoot, damn. If you're a Jim Morrison fan, she got some good pictures. Like, she took some good shots. Um, I don't. They also, like I said, were using substances, but they definitely had a chemistry that resulted in some great photos. And then his other, Patricia, um, she kind of went down after him for the same reasons with, drug use, getting heavier, especially after she lost him, having to find him, all of that. It was kind of inevitable in a way and sad, but well, I don't know. I haven't really looked to see, but I think that the other Patricia is still alive. The book I would recommend if you are interested in this kind of topic. It's not like the I'm with the Band by Pamela Desbars, or DeBars, however you say her name. That book's awesome because it gives you all the bands and it gives you like her account. But a book that's strictly about Jim Morrison and Pamela and Patricia. Patricia Keneally, and then Pamela, I can't think of her last name right now, which is sad because out of the two, I know exactly which one I would end up being, the Pam, not the Patricia. Even though I would like to be the dark goddess photographer, whatever, I would probably be the more, whatever. If you watch the movie, I'm definitely the other one. But she was the most important one, and she was his muse. Love Street. She lives on Love Street. Um, I don't know, several songs. Like when he met her immediately, like there was some kind of connection. Even before he saw her, she heard his voice, like singing or humming or something, and then he could hear her voice above, like this little terrace top apartment, not far from Spawn Ranch, by the way. I'll promise I won't go off on that topic about the Manson family, but yeah, not too far from there. And they would have little parties there, so they had both heard each other's voices and maybe even had seen each other from afar, but as far as meeting and talking to each other and all that, there was a little gap of time before that happened. And then it was like an immediate, just like an immediate connection where they ended up staying up all night talking. And after that, it was just, they were inseparable. So he had that concrete, like good support system with her. She was always there. And that meant a lot to him. And then he was also the, wild rock star who had, his demons. And here comes the dark, beautiful witch woman, and or witchy. I don't want to say witch because I don't know what her beliefs were, but they were different and unique, and he was attracted to that. Anyway, the book is called Angels Dance and Angels Die. And it is about kind of him being torn between the two. And just, I don't know, kind of Jim's romance and how he had a flip coin. He had, she was until she kind of got corrupted by what was around her, the good, sweet girl that just was, adored and worshipped him. And then flip side, you have like the older professional journalist slash photographer who's, lured him away from all the, spotlight into like her own little realm. Like we're going to have this like own private photo session, and just, he ends up almost like in a fog, like in a trance when it comes to her versus his just more comfortable, like, this is, my heart, this is my home, you're my home, safe, whatever place that he had with Pam. So I don't know. I guess everybody has a flip side when you're in that kind of industry. But I think the genuine, deep lyrics and stuff that we hear, like some of the pain and stuff, I think it comes from all over as far as him, if you've studied his life. But I think as far as lyrics, definitely Pam is going to be more of an influence than Patricia. That's just me guessing. I have no fucking clue. But I think she was a fleeting, she was kind of like the whole star sucker thing, like Dave and I were talking about, in a way. Like she did go and photograph and interview these famous guys with her kind of eye on a certain one. And I don't know. I just thought about that. She was kind of like the star sucker in a way of that time. She didn't want to be on stage or sing or anything like Courtney Love, but she did want to get her name out there, and she did successfully, not just for the photos, but for the whole story behind it. Like I said, I don't remember. I used to have the book. It's here somewhere. Again, so many things are here somewhere. But it's called Angels Dance and Angels Die. Don't remember if she wrote it or had like a ghostwriter, top person wrote it or whatever, but it's a good book. Then the other one, which has got like all of the little deep secrets about this chick hooking up with Mick Jagger and Gene Simmons and just all these alleged hookups that she had throughout the years with people that we've looked up to. Um, and again, that one's easier probably to find. And I think my copy even wasn't a, like a new copy when I got it. It was like a used copy. And then, like I said, I read it a million times. It's just really good. It goes over actually in the book, if you've ever heard of the whole Plaster Caster song that Kiss did. She's kind of the theory behind that. So it's really too bad Dave is not here since he loves to talk about that whole thing. But I'm sure he would go into depth with that if probably if him and Rose were having a conversation. He probably wouldn't have that conversation with me. I don't know. We'll see. I might throw it at him one day to see what the hell he does with it or says. But yeah, the whole Plaster Caster song, check it out if you haven't. Kiss song, popular, historical song about, her making sure she has a mold, a plaster cast of all these guys so that she can, compare and um, like in her way kind of have her own journalistic approach to, okay, I was with all these guys, I have all these stories, and now I have a souvenir. um so anyway, as crazy as that, I thought the song was just fake, like just a song. I didn't know that it was legit. This really happened, that she really did like plaster molds. um but anyway, it has a few pictures in the book, but with it being paperback, it's not the quality that like the Jim Morrison one I was talking about, Angels Dance, Angels Die. It's a hardback, more, I don't know, different kind of book though. It's more of like documentary of my life with Jim. The other one is like documentary of my wild ass cool backstage life with this, and this person. And like, here's a deep dark secret you never knew. Found out this about this person when I was with them. Like kind of some star secrets along with who she was with. And like, she has no shame in the book. She's very open and very whatever, raw, and what it's just, it's a good book. Sorry, it is. And she does use the term groupie, and she says she doesn't care, that what that means to different people. um but anyway, I truly will quit rambling. Even though I've got some people watching, I really wish someone would pop up and tell me, if nothing else, what you think of that poem. um I don't know, it's a cute little poem for a 20-year-old. um I don't know, probably more like junior high school nowadays, but for back then, I think it's sweet. I just didn't appreciate it at the time. I do now, and it's sad that I can't. Again, another person I can't really find and say, "Hey, I found this, read over it, started thinking about old times, just want to see how you are." I have a whole list of people I could send that exact message to, but a bunch of those people are no longer here. So whether or not here in town or not here at all. But he was doing good last time I heard. Last I told you. So I'm gonna say that he moved on from this sad little poem to the laugh I told you. I felt like I last saw he had on Facebook before he went social media gone, apparently. Hopefully he's okay. But yeah, check out some of those other books if you're a reader or collector. Those definitely need to be in your collection for the the gym book, especially if you're a Doors person. That's just for me, probably because I'm like the whole romancy girl, whatever. Um, I guess I really like that book a lot because it's real, but it has that whole happy ending, I don't know, kind of stuff to it versus, I don't know. It's like the difference between watching a rom com and an action movie, or a drama and a horror movie. Just, I don't know, that good, feel good feeling. And then the other one, I'm with the band. It's not the Doors necessarily. It's all tops of bands. I do know Mick Jagger plays a huge part in her book, and Gene Simmons. Those are two that just stand out in a big way, and that she also brags about a lot as far as the plaster caster thing. I mean, think about it. If Kiss recorded the song and she's very open about being with him, we know Gene has reported being with, like, I want to say over 400 women, maybe more than that. I can't remember what his interview said. It was a lot of women. Um, I'm thinking it was more than that, but I don't. I'm lowballing what it was. And so back then, there's a lot of people that weren't ashamed, and he didn't give a shit. Wrote a song, made $1 million off the song, and she loved it. She wasn't insulted about it. She gets a 15 minutes of fame, actually a lifetime of fame, because it's at that time that was a big, like, what the hell is this woman thinking? And now you can go to fucking, like, what is it, Spencer's, or what, you have different places probably wherever y'all live, but around here that's kind of the kind of place it would be at, where, like, a novelty shop, I guess you could say, an adult shop, where you can get stuff like that and make molds and whatever. Like, she was the first person who would have ever thought of that. And hers was more for like a museum type situation instead of for a pleasure type situation. But still, really cool way to commemorate that time you had there. I don't know. Funny, but very unique. Gets points for that. So I don't know why everybody's name's Pamela, Patricia, all the P's names, but whatever. Y'all got the you got something going on to be one of the girls backstage. It's not hard. A lot of people have asked me questions about, me meeting different people, and I've got pictures I showed the other night, a few pictures I showed of me and Rick Springfield, and me and Jonathan Jackson. I don't know. I have several others. And then I hate that we didn't have like phones that we could just grab out of our pockets in the mid to late 90s, or I would have so many more good ones. But I do have a lot of the VIP, like lanyard things, some autograph stuff that I need to pull all of it out in just one big thing and just show that all and just put it all back, because it's not everywhere. It's all in this room. It's just kind of everywhere in the room because there's so much stuff, so much. This is the one room in the house I told the kids, like, this will be your nightmare if you ever have to clean it out, because their rooms are minimal. They keep theirs very minimal and really, neat and organized. And I used to. And then now it's like when we moved back, I wanted all of these comfort things and memory things to look at around. And I have too many, way too many. So, yeah, I need to go through and like get rid of stuff that's I think is a memory, and realize, like, hey, you can keep one thing instead of 10, because that's all it is when I moved back here, have we all have been, but was in a sad place, and so it was like, no, I don't want to let that go because I want to remember them. And it's not like hoarding or anything at all. It's just cluttery in here, definitely compared to the rest of the house, which is neat. And I don't know. My thing is, it may not look neat, but everything has a place. And I will walk by, and even though it's not like all neat and pretty, I'll make sure that gets scooted back over to its place. And eventually, I need to like half everything that's in here, literally get rid of 50%, so it can look all spacey and minimal. Because my bed is the main part of the room, because it takes up almost the whole room. It's a California King, so it's huge. In a room that probably would do better with a like double bed. But anyway, both of my kids have double beds. I had a California King because my grandmother had this bed made for her, and then she gave it to me when I got married. It has her name at the bottom, like engraved at the bottom of the frame. So it's so nice and so much of like a heirloom that I'm keeping it. It's a bitch to take apart and put together. When we moved, no one really ever wants to do anything with it when we're doing like construction or stuff or whatever, because it's so heavy or so hard to move and take apart and all that good stuff. So it's here for a while. Wherever I go, it's coming with me. So whoever gets to pack it up next. Good luck with all these bajillion screws and pieces and whatnot. But it's beautiful. It needs polished. Bad, bad, bad. But anyway, I don't even know how I got off on that subject because I'm obviously don't have Gene Simmons in the bed right here, or and I don't even want him in the bed right here. But I'm looking over. I see a Care Bear. That's about it. That's a big confession right there. There's a Care Bear. They're for real. And I don't know his name. We call him Hurt Bear because I usually have him in the bed in case, like, I don't know, I'm sad or sick or whatever. I don't know. My kid gave me one, and I had it for so long through so much bullshit. I always had it with me, like to go to sleep that night, to cry on, to whatever. And then I don't remember what happened. Oh, I let my sister have it when things were happening, and I didn't get it back when she passed. So we made an executive decision as a family when we were sitting here, like getting stuff for the month or whatever, ordering stuff. Um, my oldest talked me into ordering a new one, and they were just like, "You don't get yourself anything like that, just that you don't have to have, but you just want." And like you need to replace that. That was kind of your, I don't know, but it's not the same as the old one still. Like I've been, it's so crazy, but like I didn't want it to look perfect or feel perfect. I wanted it to feel all smushy and whatever, which is usually not me. If something is new, like I want it to stay perfect. Sometimes I don't even open it because I'm like, it's too perfect. I'll use it for a rainy day or another day. I'm running out of rainy days and other days, and I need to just seize the moment and use it. So I wanted him to be as much like as the old one who had soaked up tears and been drug around everywhere. And so I have smashed him. I have sat on him. We have, I don't know, you name it, just about it, other than like I don't even want to talk about. We have not done anything horrible, but he is floppy and squishy and all the good stuff now. If I need it to be, he's on his way to getting to Hurt Bear status. But he has he has like a paint thing. We used to call him Paint Bear, but now he is officially Hurt Bear because that's his job to take care of the hurt. And again, other than saying I looked over and that's him, I keep getting off on crazy subjects. So the fact I got on here tonight at all was one, the topic muses came to mind when we were talking about Kurt and Courtney. Then I saw that article today, that beautiful girl, can't think of her name. Now I want to say it's Polly. I want to say it's another P name. Could be totally wrong about that. But it's on my community page. It's got this beautiful girl who was an inspiration to two hit songs that y'all will all know, like everyone knows. And I just can't imagine. Like she's gorgeous. She looks very young, but I don't know how old she was during that time. Um, but I don't love both songs, but I really like one of them. The other one, just I'm like I said, not a huge Beatles fan, so not a huge George Harrison fan. But the song lyrics are really pretty. I just don't dig the music that much. I like Layla better. But anyway, y'all have a great night. Check out some of the books I talked about. Definitely check out the song Plaster Caster if you're a Kiss fan. And just look at that about how crazy it is that that's a thing now. That's just not, people don't even think about, that's something you can just walk on over to a novelty shop and get, when this lady was kind of like the innovator of the whole plaster cast thing. And like I said, hers were for different reasons. Hers were for museum relics of, I had this time with this famous, amazing guy. And I'm not ashamed of it. Yeah, I was a groupie. I was a whatever you want to call it. But these guys are just like y'all. And yeah, you might be there to hook up with them or whatever, but they're on a bus for hours and hours. They want somebody to talk to about something other than music or other than, just getting messed up or sex or whatever. They want to talk. some of them want to actually talk about stuff like we do, all of us do, you know. And so these girls, that's not all they're there for. Some of them actually form like really close relationships with these guys, and they know like they'll be in the next town that we're going to. They become a constant in a way. So, and some of these girls, they would take in like young musicians who, you know, even like Guns N' Roses when they were getting started out, maybe didn't have a place to stay. She would like take them in, make sure they had something to eat. Like her and her friends had an apartment or whatever. Like some of these ladies, you can look and there's interviews of like Poison, Bret Michaels, people saying like all of us on like the Sunset Strip, these women, they fed us, they let us borrow their clothes so we looked all, you know, glammed up. Like they played a big part in everything. So it kind of pisses me off to just consider them as like whores or groupies because they were bigger than that. And clearly now, if you read that and you just think about some of the songs you hear, those women, you know, they ended up either being in a relationship with them in some way later, or they were the muse behind a song, good or bad. It was about them. So they'll always kind of have that, and it'll always exist in the world. Um, and like I sang in a song that was Andy's, um, Man of Golden Words, music, the international language, the only international language. And so it's forever for everyone to hear. And so I don't think she is alive anymore. I'm not sure. Because I know they would all be much older. I don't know. I need to look up her name. I feel bad that I didn't look at it, but it's on, like I said, check out the community page. It's there. You'll get to read. It's a short, so you'll get to hear the two songs and see her and explain the two artists as well. It's, I don't know, 3 minutes long and it's worth it. Just check it out. And then y'all be thinking too about if y'all love a certain Nirvana song, do you think that any of them or that one that you love is inspired at all by Courtney? Is what she says true? You know, was she the inspiration for, you know, a million jillion songs in the world? Or Smashing Pumpkins, was she the inspiration between any of those songs? Um, I don't know who else to maybe guess because there's probably a long list, but that's where the whole Star Sucker, which I said sounded better as Star Fucker, but whatever her thing was, you know, that's what some people are. She just kind of made it really trashy and different than, even like I said, the chick that did the plaster caster stuff, y'all would probably look at her nowadays and be like, oh, she looks, you know, like really trashy whore kind of look with the poofed up hair and the high heels, fishnets, whatever. But that was the way we looked back then. Or I was trying to look like that at 14. So, because that's the girls that got backstage. You had to look the part. And I didn't look 14. I looked older. And I didn't, that we didn't get ID'd back then. Like none of that stuff. So I did a lot of living and a lot of fun things early on. So then I was very boring later in life, like now. Um, but I have lots of fun stories and whatever. So y'all get to hear them, good or bad. Today, y'all got to hear the poem. I promise I'm going to quit rambling because I don't know why 5 of y'all like to listen to me, but I love it. More of it. Like I said, tell people, subscribe, like, share, whatever. I'm going to pop up again tomorrow because I do want to do some more on the Nirvana chapters. And who knows, I may just get in here and talk because I'm going to be nervous while they're doing that project like that was supposed to be done today. I understand that, you know, shit happens and it was not a 100%. It was, I'm fitting you in after this, you know, job they had to do, hanging some Chinese lanterns or something at a Chinese restaurant that was going to be, it's like an hour away. I don't know. He does all kinds of stuff that you could imagine that when you're building a house that you would need, like kind of has all the certifications, plumbing, electrical, all the stuff. So I feel better about him doing it than just some little random kid or some person that says they can. Like he's got the proof, but still, I always get like nervous or anxious or whatever when shit like that's happening. I think I've already had the biggest part of the freak out. But that's just I think. You never know. So anyway, I may get on here while that's happening and y'all keep me calm and not freaked out. Because I expect that to be happening around my time, like 1 or 2 tomorrow, Central Time. So check. I'll try to post it in advance more than just like that, like I did tonight. I was trying to talk myself out of this all night and then was like, no, 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 no. You get on there, talk about it, see if anybody is interested in it, or just they have a comment after they hear you read your little poem. But yeah, leave some kind of comment at the bottom, whether it's you're interested in learning more about the whole Plastercaster chick, you've heard of the books, you want to read the books, you saw the community post and you know who the chick is. You can tell us more about her than I know because I don't know a lot about her. Um, what you think, like I said, what you think about my little poem. Basically, that's, me. I'm like Courtney. It's all about me. Me. I want to know what you think about the poem. I couldn't be more not like her, actually. But I'm more like him. I would guarantee, actually. And, same horoscope sign, everything. Very emotional person. So that also is probably not news to y'all. Thank God y'all didn't get to see me like cry and have a whole meltdown the other night. I say the other night, this was like one fucking day ago. It seems like 2 or 3, but everything seems like that to me. I want it, and I want it now. But anyway, y'all probably want sleep and you want it now, or whatever you're doing, wherever you're going. And like I said, I put it on StreamYard just in case anybody wanted to say anything. I'm making sure I'm clicking my comments here because I'm bad about not reading them. And I don't know. I kind of wouldn't mind staying and hanging out, but I don't know who's in here with me. And I feel stupid just continuing to talk and talk and talk. I can. Y'all know I can. But see what we talk about next. I'm trying to listen to some music in a discreet way for my own sanity. I'm still tripping, y'all, that I just realized that CD had that I can't talk, promotional use only. And now it makes me wonder where he got it. Like I said, he wasn't in a successful band or anything. He was just a dude that played guitar. That I don't know. He was more into the writing part. Hence my song or my poem. It doesn't have a title. What would y'all title my poem? Something about a well, I would say, because that was a pretty cool thing to end it with, about sending something about a well so deep that my heart just sinks. I don't know. That part was kind of cool. And it says something about I'm asleep and I'm dreaming and I'm awake and I'm screaming at the trees or something I don't know. I'm sitting here without unfolding it trying to guess what he was saying, but it's almost like sleepwalking or like I don't know. That's the thing I get kind of from it. And the whole well thing, like wishing well. I don't know. All of it's real symbolic of what was going on kind of at the time, but like I said, this is definitely too little too late. Not even too little. It's sweet, just too late. Because I did like him for a while, and just man, he missed the time frame because he friend zoned me. So I was like, all right, cool, hanging out in the friend zone, chilling, whatever, and then bam, I get this, and I need a reaction now, like me, now, I want it now. And all I could say is, I've kind of like moved on to a different life and different people and whatever. And I just happened to be here today, and it's good seeing you. And this is very sweet, but it's kind of the only reaction he got. And I feel bad, but I couldn't really give him more than that and lead him on. I would not want to do that because it's happened to me way too many times. And this is, I'm talking about when I was 20 something. I don't even expect much from anybody anymore. Like I said, that's why I kind of keep to myself, keep my stuff to myself. Like, y'all don't know. I could, the other night I told y'all on that on that title, surprise proposal, because it for real happened. It just was not anything that I'm like woohoo about. But if I do get a real proposal that I'm accepting, it would probably be like a fucking 1 in a million chance. But I'll be sure to let y'all know. I'll put a for real, I'm excited surprise proposal. So sorry for tricking y'all, but that had to have been at least maybe a little bit entertaining. I don't know, because you could tell when I start getting super awkward and it's not like funny for me anymore. Even I was having to try for it to be funny anyway, but no hard feelings. Just it, I don't know. I probably shouldn't have joked so much back and forth with it. And I just didn't, I really thought it was someone that we all know that regularly trolls. And I was wrong. I was really wrong. So anyway, shit happens like that. Um, that was pretty interesting. I had two so far in my mind. Sure, one of you 4 people who watch more regularly. I've had 2 more strange things kind of happen since I've been coming on here, and I had no control over either one of them. They're both people that just happened to come in, and I don't know them that I knew one of them not at all, and the other one I don't know that well, but um, I don't know. They weren't. Most other creators would say those were just 2 blips that happen every other time I go live. But for me, those were kind of like, oh shit, what do I do? How do I? And um, anyway, they're both over. So everyone else, I would love to talk to. See you, top in a comment, whatever. I don't know if you're in the house listening, Callie, but if you are, thanks for messaging me back and for all your encouragement. You're a sweetheart. And I know our time zones are huge difference. But I know you listen sometimes at work and you work a lot of hours. So hope you're having a good time at work if that's where you are, or resting if it's a day off. Um, and who else? BH came over here one night and sang. I don't know if you're still up and popping this late on a weeknight, but if you are, that was so sweet. Awesome. You know me, the songs that I requested, I love hearing you sing. And they get me always in a good vibe, and love to have you come back. Especially if we have more people, here to hear you and your beautiful voice, because we only had just us, which was kind of nice too, in a way. But as we get things going, we might have some more people that might sing, or me and you can just sing. We might can pull Kylie into it and get her to sing. We might even get 3.Dave to sing. I really doubt it, but anything is possible. Anything. Here's with my I really did pick the best name, even though it had no thought at all about that. I have a problem saying a lot. Because someone put in a comment one time to me, hey, and I was like, oh my God, how mean. They're making fun of me saying and then I thought, oh shit, it's because they're saying undercover mermaid, thought like they were being like shitty toward me because I say all the time. So maybe that was meant to be, although this was a name I came up with years ago. Like, I don't even know. I tried to look it up the other day. I want to say I always get confused whether it's 2012 or 2015. Either way, I've had it for a long ass time. And I told y'all the meaning behind the name. I get all kinds of flack about the name, and it's just I thought it was cute. I like it. I'm not changing it. People can come to terms with it. I'm not a undercover spa. If you watch Little Mermaid, you know. Basically, I am a regular person walking around on Earth, but boom, at any moment I could turn into a mermaid and swim away into the ocean. So I'm an undercover mermaid. Totally makes sense to me, but whatever. And anyway, Posse's being my son. I love mermaids, all that. I don't want to change it just because people have weird whatever they have because it says undercover. Hell, I'm like the least undercover kind of person in the world. I need to be more undercover. I just shared with y'all a poem from when I was like 20 or shit. Whatever 20 years ago is. I quit doing the math. I'm just going to say around 20 years ago. That makes sense. I don't want to do math. Already was doing math earlier today, especially money math. Fuck that. Right now, mm-mm, mm-mm. I can't even go there. And uh, my goal to cut back on Mountain Dew and smoking isn't going so great, not at the current moment. So, but I don't care. I'm trying to stay sane. Like I said, tomorrow, supposedly, please, tomorrow, by this time, let it all be over. Us all have gotten a good hot shower and thankful and grateful for it. And moving on to how the hell am I going to pay for this now? Because I found out a way to, but then it's just going to be the slow, painful process of